Here's a psychology fact you're not ready for. If you never delete anything from your phone, it says more about your mind than you think. Not just about your habits, about how you handle memories, emotions, and even loss. Psychologists call this digital clutter attachment. And once you understand it, you'll see why you keep holding on to screenshots, old messages, blurry photos, and random downloads you'll never look at again. Because the truth is simple. Your habits with your phone mirror your habits with your life. You're not just storing data, you're storing emotions. You're storing moments you were afraid to let go of. You're storing versions of yourself you didn't know how to release. And that's exactly why this behavior matters more than you think. But here's where it gets even worse. Your brain thinks this habit is harmless, but psychologically, it's a message, a loud one. Here's the painful part. People who never delete anything aren't afraid of losing files. They're afraid of losing control. They cling to digital clutter the same way some people cling to past relationships, old clothes, or friendships that drain them. Because the brain loves one thing above all: emotional safety. And keeping everything just in case gives the illusion of safety, even when it creates mental overload. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. This habit often has nothing to do with storage space. It has everything to do with emotional space. And this next part explains why your life hasn't changed yet. This happens because your brain is wired to form emotional attachments to anything connected to your identity, even digital items. Every photo, note, message, screenshot, and video has a tiny emotional tag attached to it. Your brain doesn't see storage, it sees proof. Proof of who you were, proof of what you felt, proof that something mattered, proof that you didn't imagine a moment, proof of your connections, achievements, or memories. Deleting something feels like deleting a part of yourself. Even if it's small, even if it's irrational, your mind thinks, if I remove this, I might forget something important. If I delete this, I'll lose the meaning attached to it. If I let this go, what else will I lose next? So you keep it. You keep everything. But here's the twist. Holding on is not about remembering. It's about fear. Fear of losing memories, fear of losing people, fear of losing control, fear of losing versions of yourself that you haven't healed from yet. Psychologists say this pattern is deeply connected to 1. Loss aversion. Your brain hates losing things more than it enjoys gaining things. Deleting feels like losing even if it's meaningless clutter. 2. Sentimental projection. You don't store the file, you store the feeling attached to it. Even a blurry photo becomes too important to delete, not because of the image, but because of the emotion you've projected onto it. 3. Information anxiety. Your mind tells you, what if I need this later? But 99% of the time, you never do. Still, the fear keeps you stuck. 4. Identity preservation. Your phone becomes a digital museum of who you've been. Old messages, old screenshots, old social interactions. They become a timeline you're scared to erase. 5. Emotional avoidance. Deleting something forces you to confront this truth. That moment is gone. That person is gone. That phase of your life is over. Keeping everything means you never have to face that discomfort. Your brain does this to protect you from emotional pain, but in the process, it creates a new problem. You carry more psychological weight than you need. Because digital clutter becomes mental clutter, and mental clutter becomes emotional exhaustion. Your phone may be overloaded, but your mind is overloaded too. Here's the truth you've been avoiding. If it's hard for you to delete things from your phone, it's probably hard for you to let go of things in your life. People, memories, mistakes, stories you've outgrown, versions of yourself that no longer serve you. If pot hits you good, it means you needed it. If you want to break this cycle, start with something simple. Delete one thing a day. Just one. Not because storage matters, but because your emotional freedom does. Here's the mental trick that actually works. Step 1. Ask yourself, does this still represent who I am? If the answer is no, Let it go. Step 2. Remind your brain deleting the file does not delete the memory. Your mind keeps what matters. Your phone doesn't have to. Step 3. Start with the easiest items, not the emotional ones. Random screenshots, duplicate photos, unnecessary downloads, these build momentum. Step 4. Practice intentional detachment. Every time you delete something small, you teach your brain this powerful truth. I am safe even when I let go. And step 5, turn clearing space into a habit, not a chore. 5 minutes a day. That's it. Not to clean your phone, but to retrain your mind. Because when you learn to release digital clutter, you learn to release emotional clutter. You learn to free space in your life for new memories, new connections, and a calmer mind. So here's your challenge. Stop treating your phone like an archive of every moment you've ever lived. Start treating it like a tool, not a time capsule. When you let go of the unnecessary, you make room for the meaningful. And that's the real psychology behind people who never delete anything. They aren't messy. They aren't forgetful. They aren't lazy. They're human. They're emotional. And they're learning how to hold on, even when letting go is the thing that sets them free.